inside Thursday night. How's it going? Alright, strip back, good crack, multi-trade podcast. Share the knowledge you know, help to make our sector grow. Everybody's learning from experts and the journeyman. Insights.
What's the story?
What's the crack, Steve? What's happening?
Another week, another episode.
Yeah.
What have we got here?
Finally came.
What's this? I thought I was the only one.
Yeah, I know, yeah. You were slagging me there during the week. Yeah, and I finally came.
Yeah.
I was away for a week, and this actually came while I was away, so
Yeah.
deadly little present to get on the way back.
6218 in there, is it?
6218 on the 1104, the jacket.
Class. Deadly.
Yeah, so I was just popping a message over to Lindsay, Holly and Ray to say thanks. This is obviously the jacket. Crying out for a jacket and a high vis one as well at that.
Yeah.
Look at this bad boy.
Think of that weather we've had this week.
Yeah.
I wore that all week this week on the job and I've come out bone dry. The jacket's taken the hit, but it's taken a good hit. Thermal and comfortable at the same time, you know.
And you know what? It's very hard to get a good high vis jacket
Yeah.
with the right insulation in it as well. So
You'll be working out in the garden now looking at the business.
yeah, unreal. Delighted with that.
What have you got to go with it?
The bottoms there as well. They're all branded as well, which I noticed on yours as well, with the reflective bottom one as well,
Deadly.
which is good. Good for the visibility as well.
Yeah.
It's a reflector, like, you know what I mean.
Yeah. 100%.
So that's the bottoms. So you can see the reflective Snickers logo on the back.
Limited edition.
Limited edition. You've got your usual pockets,
Yeah.
as we need for all our crap that we have as electricians.
But even put your hands into the pockets there and feel that comfort, you know what I mean? And during the winter now, that's going to keep your hands warm as well, you know?
Yeah, they're actually lions. That's unreal. Class. Really delighted with that.
Spot on.
Deadly.
Welcome to another episode of Insight, the Strip Back podcast. I'm Stephen Buckley.
And I'm Keith Delahan.
And this podcast is sponsored by Robust Lighting, the world's leading LED lighting company.
And in association with Snickers Workwear Ireland.
We've got a couple of really, really interesting guests in the studio with us today. We've got TradeCounter.ie. If you want to introduce yourselves, who have we got here at the table?
I'm Dave
I'm Jan.
from TheTradeCounter.ie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And where is growing up? I can hear the Dublin voices on it. Whereabouts you're from?
I'm Killamana, based Tala. So I grew up in Tala and what you know.
He's a south sider and I'm a north sider. So I'm from Artane. So I cross the tracks. We live in Tala now.
Yeah. Artane. We go around that way a lot, actually.
You're upgraded to Tala.
Yeah.
My dad has like Edenmore or something like that.
Yeah.
A lot as a kid, like, you know.
Yeah.
But,
And I actually do love Tala. I do. We never ever thought I would say that as a north side. If you told me when I was younger I would live in the south side, I'd be like, no.
it's Tala's it's west side, is it?
East. Oh, no.
It's just the west side of
South
it,
side.
is it?
Oh,
Do all
Yeah,
the
but they pushed it out a bit. They pushed it out a little bit, haven't they? Like,
no, west side is Clondalkin. So,
yeah.
Southwest.
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 But what we usually do is with our guests, we just try to maybe strip it back a little bit to let them know a little bit about the guests and where they grew up and what their childhood was like and stuff in school and stuff like that, just to sort of break the ice a bit, and then we'll get into the good stories then.
You love your childhood, weren't you?
Well, I set the standard, like. My childhood was perfect. I grew up in the Brady Bunch. My mum and dad are the only people that they've ever been with since they were 15. They married each other when they were 21. Madly in love to this day. I have 3 brothers. Actually, one of them's an electrician. I was very good in school. I was goody two shoes. I danced. I played badminton, I swam, I did karate, I did the Order of Malta, I was in every activity. I had a very normal childhood.
That's
normal.
no good
Until
for
I was
this.
18.
Yeah.
Until
That's
I was
no
18.
good.
Until I was 18. I had like a massive affair with like my manager at work who was 10 years older than me.
What? Did you go back to that again?
I got good when I hit 18, but my childhood was lovely.
That's for the overload.
That's pretty over there. That's after 12 o'clock.
What happens in the north side stays in the north side.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to beat that one now.
My childhood was grand, so quite normal childhood as well. Yeah, my mum and dad, my mum's from Belfast, my dad's from Kerry, and 4
Jesus.
siblings, yeah. My dad's a painting contractor. He done a lot of work for Cosgraves. He done most of their work back in the 80s, so we had a good crew back in the 80s, my dad, yeah. So, yeah, my mum was a stay-at-home mother, kind of similar to the dynamic we've created.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we both grew up like with dads who worked and mums who stayed at home.
Yeah.
So it's funny. We both actually wanted that, which is like most people don't. There's not a lot of women who want to stay at home,
Yeah.
who are happy to stay at home, who don't want to pursue a career. And then there's not a lot of men who are happy to just go out and, you know, the girls kind of stays at home. So we were really lucky we'd grown up in that. And then we both actually wanted
It was
that.
easier for, I think, our parents to do that type of thing years ago, wasn't it? 'Cause I think
Definitely,
Yeah, and we're lucky financially. I can afford to stay at home. Like, do you know what I mean? And
But in this day and age, with crashes and all, like you'd probably just be working to pay a crash bill anyway. Like you know what I mean? But
it was about $8,000 for a house back then, anyway. Like so.
Yeah, true.
I don't know how, Jen. I don't know how you stay home. Like I love my kids. I don't know if you have kids or not. Love them. My whole life is work and my kids and Jen as well. Yeah.
It is all just upbringing, isn't it? And what is bet into you when you were.
Yeah, but like one weekend, the weekend with the kids, I'm glad to go back to work Monday morning. And Jen, she does like 7 days a week. I don't know how she does that, honestly. I'd crack up. No, I love them with all my heart and soul, but I just don't know how.
She sounds like she's the voice of reason as well with you. So I give her that. Give her that's a job. That's a job in itself as well.
The anchor, is it?
Yeah,
The anchor. I have an anchor at home as well.
Yeah.
You are.
And you wouldn't believe how much work is there.
She taught me something else.
Who's is there?
Alias.
Oh, yeah.
And it is like, it's
Oh, here we
an
go.
extra. No, but
Man, I
it
gotta
is,
get
it's an
slated.
extra. No, but go back to your childhood because you haven't told them good bits.
Yeah, so like the good bits of my childhood, jeez, what's the good bits?
When you left school when you were 15.
Oh yeah, left school when I was
When you
15.
did drugs when you were 12. Like, that's all really
Oh,
interesting.
really good stuff.
Like,
Yeah.
perspective. That's normal to him.
Yeah.
To me, like, you know.
Yeah, but like as far as on the drugs, I'm not going to go into detail on that, like just for the sake of. Okay, so I know I'm in recovery. I've no problem speaking about recovery.
Yeah.
The older, so this is where your podcast is going to get mixed up, say anyway, because it's going to go from the start to the middle.
That's all right.
No, like I was talking about there earlier. Well, I've no problem talking about because all my teenagers, I'll talk to them all day long.
Yeah.
About whatever drugs and if they want and they know all the ins and outs.
Yeah.
But my younger kids, I don't know if they ever see it or not. But if Danny's seen it or something like that, he doesn't. My uncle doesn't. Anyway, where would be there now?
Let us know their name. I'll bar them from all the pages anyway. Like.
My childhood, yeah. So I was, I started smoking hash when I was 12 years of age. And that's why, because that's what everybody was doing.
Yeah.
And that's what, like, people, I always was convinced everybody done this, and it wasn't the case. I found out in later life now it was only the people that I was attracted to and surrounded myself with.
Yeah.
But I was fully convinced everybody smoked hash in the estate at that age, and that was like every teenager you knew was, you know what I mean?
Because your world was quite small because you didn't do the things that I did. Like, you didn't play sports, you didn't go to clubs. So who you hung around with, that was your world.
Yeah,
do you know what I'm saying? Like, I was seeing different people 5 days a week, 30 different people in a different class, in swimming, in dancing, in badminton. Dave's world was quite small.
That was your outlet.
Yeah.
As well.
His belief system was built on his perspective.
Never took to any sports. Played football once, and just never took to it. It was into animals. I had a load of pets. Loads of
We both did, which is just so cute, I think.
Loads of pets as a kid, and then as the teenage years kicked in, I kind of forgot about the pets. I used to go home stoned and sit in the chipmunk cage. I had a cage with chipmunks. And I'd sit
sure they were there,
I think. Was there chipmunks? Just an empty cage.
Everybody used to go home and sit in their chipmunk cage.
They used to sit in the thing. They used to be running into my pockets and all, but then I was like, So I went to work with the chap next door to me. So against me outfit wishes, because my dad, I think, had hopes for me. Because I was painting, like, I loved work. I did. I loved it from it. Like, even, I remember I was about 10 years of age, my dad bring me out onto the site. So I still remember the site. It's still, like, it's out in Dunleary. And I'd be working with him in the summer and all. I was that small that my ma's she made me very own custom-made pair of white overalls, white trousers to look like overalls. Yeah. And so by the time then I was 15, I done a work experience with Alan Walsh next door. And I probably shouldn't say it's fun. Anyway, I done it, with him next door. He was a toilet contractor, And it was just because the one thing I didn't like working with me dad, I was the boss's son.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was being treated like the boss's son. Yeah. And when I was working with Walshy next door, I was just one of the lads, I felt like.
Yeah.
So after a week and a work experience when I was 15, came home to me, man, that's it, I'm going to be a toiler.
Yeah.
And decision made, and they were like yeah, and that was it, decision made. And and that was the beginning.
What was
of
the
it.
feeling like for you to get the money in your hands? Like, was it, like I know you liked working, like, but I started getting the money being paid. Like, it's obviously a good feeling to
Pay
get
from
that.
someone else as well. Like,
Yeah,
proper
it was.
boss.
Yeah, and it was like, I think I remember, like, the first few weeks was 20 quid, and then I went up to 60 quid a week, and I loved it. I was up every morning at like 7 o'clock every morning. And I remember after a while, I'd sit looking out the window waiting for him to collect me. And he wasn't as early as a riser. And he told me, he was just, no, just wait and I'll ring you when I'm on the way over. And it just goes to show me I was being navigated and moulded kind of back then without even knowing it.
Yeah.
I was mad for the work. Like, and then...
But can you, like, so Dave has ADHD, and at that time,
No,
like,
I don't.
would have been completely...
You definitely do.
At that time, completely undiagnosed. Like he didn't really get
hadn't cleared
diagnosed
that.
until about 3 years ago. 3 years ago.
When my young fella was getting,
So you're looking back at like a child who struggled in school, and then like what we now educated is work was his hyper focus. That's why he was up early. That's why he's sitting at the window. That's why when you asked about the money, that wasn't even what drove him. Do you know what I mean? He just found something that ticked his boxes that he never found.
It was never really
15
money
years.
to say the truth.
Like,
It
he
was
left
never.
school because he cried all the time.
Yeah.
He won't tell you that.
Cry all the time.
He left school because he cried a lot and he didn't like it.
I left school because I used to. If the teacher, I was the way I found myself in school was if I could make the lads laugh. I wasn't a big tough cunt. I wasn't a fighter or anything like that.
Yeah.
If I make lads laugh, then I'm all right. I'm in with so
Protected then.
that was my kind of shield.
Yeah.
So if I was class down, and then a teacher would only have to say, "Dave, then just keep it down there, will you?" And I'd fucking
Deflate you.
Oh no, I'd burst out crying, and it was the most like. So in primary school, it wasn't too bad, but when I was in like second and third year, and I was sitting, I remember one time I'll never forget this. This was like when I was like, "Oh, I have to get out of here." We were in detention, and I was in with all the headbangers, and I thought I was Jack the lad, and then the year head called me into the room, and he didn't even call me into the room to give out to me, and I burst out crying, and then I had to, and he's like, "Just relax, you're okay," and I was bought, and then I had to go back out to all these headbangers, and that was it. I was like, get me the fuck out. But I never knew anything of ADHD. So even to a point when my young fella was only getting diagnosed, and his mother, from past relationship, I have my 8-year-old son, and there was not arguments, but I couldn't see it. She was like, I'm getting him diagnosed for ADHD, or getting him assessed. And I was like, what are you talking about getting him assessed? And Jen came to the assessment.
Because he kept saying things like, "Oh, sure, I used to do that."
And everything they were saying. This is only 2 years ago.
I got my daughter like this.
He's
this
saying
year,
that as well. Yeah.
She's like 11 now. My wife could see it through
Yeah,
years. And
our 4-year-olds.
now I should
like an
probably
advertisement.
get like I could get
It's been
assessed
out
because
now.
I was doing all the questions and the questions.
Yeah.
I said it to Keith like it's me.
Yeah,
I just said
That's
that's
what
normal.
happened.
It's normal.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh God,
Yeah.
2 years ago when we were in the room, Doctor, what's his name? Parameshwar. And he was like, okay, so there's this and there's this, and I was like, yeah, that's. I remember that in school. And I remember daydreaming. I used to sit in school and I imagine going into my pencil case, and I'd spend the whole bleeding day in the pencil case. So that's normal. Like this is, and then it was literally he stopped and there was the moment, wasn't he? He was looking at me going, at what point is this fucking penny going to drop with this man? And then it was. Went home, I got onto YouTube and I started looking at videos of ADHD, and my God,
Everything.
And a lot of what was happening was I was subconsciously micromanaging him. He's not going to like me telling you any of this. I'm definitely going to tell you.
here we go.
So Dave will get in the shower. You get up in the morning and get in the shower. Now this is old, right? This is old now, right? Because the kids now, but at the beginning. And when you get out of the shower, his Snickers would be there, his T-shirt would be there, his boxers and his socks, and his literally.
Me as well.
And he'd go downstairs and his porridge, like I would have put them out by the way, not him. And his porridge is in the
know,
bowl.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the truth be told,
No,
in
what-
fairness, I figured out how to put my boxers
I
on.
know.
Fucking time before, you know what I mean?
Left foot
I
first,
wasn't,
then
I
your
wasn't
right
going
foot.
commando for the last 40 years, you know what I mean?
But
When you have a handy thing going there, you're not going to go,
It
oh, who
reduced-
put me clothes out there? Put them back in the wardrobe and find them myself.
What? Some grown ass man would.
Oh, idiots would. No, you would look at that and go, sweet, and then wonder what's downstairs for breakfast.
But it lowered a lot of his symptoms because his day started well.
Yeah.
His
Okay.
breakfast was made. His lunch was done.
My boxers were on.
Yeah, like, because I would give him
This
like
is
a
gonna be
healthy
a good
lunch
day.
and it would be packed. You,
Sorry,
like,
sorry.
right.
Yeah, it's all about schedule. It's all
Of course
about,
it is. And eating and
Yeah.
sleeping.
Oh, yeah,
and,
the eating,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
all the stress was taken away from him as far as like kind of managing little parts of his life. But it was, he just had to get up and go to work and come home. He still only has to get up
You
and
just
go
have
to
to
work
get
and
up
come
and
home.
go to it. Like, you should come to it
I'm not
today.
saying that.
My
What
missus is
I'm
going to
saying
love
is-
this because she'd say the
Yeah.
exact same thing. Exact same thing.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
like,
Women,
he
I had
didn't
to be whole if I didn't do.
he
if I
didn't think
have
about
that
what
done.
he was going to wear today.
Hmm.
But I had to think 2 days ago, was that t-shirt washed and is it dried? Do you know what I'm saying? Seriously, he came home and had a shower and that was in the wardrobe.
But that's quite, isn't that like if you didn't have to think about the shower door that I just ordered and got wrong, and now Shannon called me. No, you didn't. You know what I mean?
Because that's your
I'm
job.
stressing all day.
That's your
stress.
You see, but that's your job, right?
Oh.
So you do Decor 24 and then I do the kids and the house. And then outside of that,
No, but you
you've
start
never
putting pants on the bed. You start with
I did.
and then you take it away. Do you know what I mean?
So sorry, my
what-
point was we never knew he had ADHD until his son was diagnosed because there was a lot of micromanaging going on. And it was actually one of the reasons we didn't see that his son had it because he's in his mammy's 75% of the time, he's with us 25% of the time. And I was micromanaging him as well. I knew he needs to go to the toilet, he needs to have food, he needs to sleep. All these things had to happen. I'm a very like kind of routine type
How
of
about your
parent.
kids or
Yeah,
about that?
Yeah.
both of them. All of them.
But at the moment, we're finding out.
But that diagnosis then, thinking back then to, you know, the teenage years and then the dopamine hits that you were looking for that you didn't
for
know
sure.
you were looking for then. And then that then leads into then obviously the addiction then. Do you feel that all played one part in it then? It's the ADHD
Oh,
then?
it was written all that, like
Yeah.
most kids get a gerbil. I had fucking 20 gerbils. I had snakes. I had fucking guinea pigs. I had a whole shed like, full of animals. You know what I mean?
Because one is never enough for an
Certain
addict in
obsession with
anything.
it, yeah.
Yeah. But the moment I did find out, it was mad with Danny, with my young fella. Jan thinks my whole world just revolves around Danny. Like I love all my fucking kids. You know what I mean? But it's like when I learned about ADHD, he was only not like learning about it.
Yeah.
But it's almost like looking back in time to see how his little mind is working. Because you know you don't remember all that way back. You might remember little bits.
Yeah.
But I'm watching his little brain work, and it brings you back to
Seeing a lot of yourself and him, like.
and you're not, do you know what I mean?
Did
So
it make you upset? Did you cry? Like for that? Because you know, like,
there's a bit
looking back at
He's
yourself,
overly
you
Slagging him.
it might be emotional because I'm
No,
just thinking
no,
like
he
I
is,
have that
yeah.
feeling myself now when I look at my daughter
Yeah.
and I look back at certain things that she might come in with struggles that she might be having in
Yeah.
school, and then I think back to little
How you were
things
treated.
and how I
flashbacks,
might have masked myself and got around
Oh,
those
you were
situations.
just told you were bold.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, for sure.
you
And
were
then
told you were bold.
You just think back
No, it
to
is.
James, if you had maybe noticed something back then, things could have been slightly different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like could things be different? Yeah, well, look, his career was like I didn't know I was like an addict for like I didn't know anything about addiction until the very end. Do you know what I mean?
What's actually very sad is a lot of addicts at this age, at our age, like we're 40s, like a lot of them actually, okay, so they become addicts, but they didn't start as addicts. A lot of them have ADHD undiagnosed, and that's what
for
triggered
sure.
it. Like, and
A lot of
obviously
tradesmen as well.
There's a percentage that, and of course tradesmen, because, you know, back in our day, if you couldn't do school, you went into a trade. Do you know what I mean? That was it. And then you go back further, the reason they couldn't concentrate in school is because they had ADHD.
Yeah.
And then you put a load of fucking ADHD men in one fucking place, and that's not going to end well.
No.
You know? And one of them is like, oh, take a bit of this, and this is great crack, and come out with us on a Friday night. And they're in there at 16 and 17 years of
But
age.
the sad thing is that still happens on the sites.
Of course.
It's still rampant on the sites.
Yeah.
You know, I don't do any sites, but I've known from lads like the coke and drugs, and
It's coming back around again. It is, yeah.
it's scary. Yeah, that kind of Celtic Tiger kind of feel. I don't know about the sites, but I have heard like.
At what point do people make that switch from, you know, the light drugs to the hard drugs, and then actually realise that it's gone a bit too far? Like, did you notice it over time, or did somebody have to come and actually?
Like
approach
without
it?
going into too much detail, I guess. But no, like when I look back on it,
Yeah,
there was nothing. There was no substance that I was afraid of.
right.
And nothing scared me. And that was right back to early 23, 24. And I won't put names on my. I'm not going to start listing off.
No.
Yeah.
But when I look back in it, like where even lads, headbangers that we would have been hanging out with, they would have been like, oh, what are you at there? And we were like, no, so look, if I fucking at that, we may as well try that and we'll give that a bash. What is, you know what I mean? You can't, don't judge me because, you know what I mean?
It was obvious
massive justifications around the whole thing. But
It was always with him, like, where everybody went out for a drink in their 20s. I used to drink in my 20s, and then everybody went home. Dave never went home.
yeah,
It was never over.
I didn't even.
Do you know what I mean? It
Yeah,
was never like,
yeah.
okay, we had a great night, high five, have a fucking kebab, see you tomorrow. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It was like, this
No, we
can't
didn't. We
ever
didn't.
fucking
Didn't,
end.
Yeah.
we didn't go out much. I didn't hang. The gang of lads.
When you
we
went
went
into
out.
town, you'd go in for days.
Yeah, but now, like, it was more, there was a shed, and I practically nearly lived in that shed. Not lived in it, but we made shed for you. We drank out on the road every night of the week. Like, it was 6 or 8 cans every night of the week. That was before even it got into the harder stuff. It was always, yeah, it was every night of the week. Something was happening, you know, that way, for years.
It's scary to think that you
It's
couldn't
culture
have
stuff,
fear, though. Do you know what I mean? Like you're saying there, I had no fear.
No, not
of
back then.
anything.
No.
But that's a scary thing in itself, isn't it?
Yeah, no,
You're not afraid
absolutely.
of anything that
Oh.
could literally kill you, you know?
Oh, and there's some of the situations and scenarios I've got in. Like, I went travelling across the world, and some of the situations I've put myself in that I can only imagine now. I would cry if I was put in a situation. And it's just, it just turns you. It turns you into this, I don't know, I wouldn't say...
Well, I think you start something, so you just have to keep going with it. It's like walking into a room with a fucking English accent, and then you're like, oh, I can't stop doing this now because I'm going to look like a tick. So you just get more and more English as you keep going. And that's what it is, though. You know, we walked in as a mad bastard. Dave is like...
We gotta do an English accent there.
Pussy, like, he's a
Well,
really...
no, not pussy. What? Fuck.
Sorry,
This is what happens, George. She gets a little inch and then she goes, yeah,
He's a really
pussy on the road.
soft-hearted, like,
Yeah.
gentle child, teenager, just so...
When I'm in the gym, and you know what I mean?
Man, yeah.
Kill us all. And it's so sad that, like, yeah, literally, like, through masking, he ended up in all these situations because, like that, he started. it. So
What age did you meet?
we only met 6 years ago.
6 years ago.
So he
6
was,
years.
What stage were you at then in terms of the
So just
recovery
at
or-
the very beginning of recovery. Now, we
He
were
was
not
set-
together 6 years. Every 5 years, I'd say.
we're
Was it?
together 6 years on the 15th of
I believe we
December.
were, so.
Thanks.
The 15th of December, yeah.
I'm the same, I'm straight with dates.
Like, he's going to be right.
Let me check my
and
diary.
literally, he
Check the back of my
was
Dave.
7 months in recovery when he met me.
Okay.
And he was still
Amazing.
an addict. Like, he shouldn't have been in a relationship. So
Yeah.
when you get into recovery, you do not, like, one of the rules as such is you do not get into a relationship for 12 months because you're supposed to focus on yourself and keep doing
Yeah.
meetings and
Yeah.
find out who you are, like, you know. And we did an absolute typical addict behavior relationship. We met each other. We went on a date. No, I texted it. We met on Tinder. I texted him on Tinder. He texted me back. He said, can I ring you? And we were on the phone for 5 hours. Right? That was the first time we ever spoke. And then we were on the phone for 5 and 6 hours every single
Talking
night.
businesses.
Till 2, 3,
That-
4 o'clock in the morning.
And this is the beauty of it when we were first talking, Jen was mad for the business and all. And now that, like, so we were taking over the world. Because my thing was in recovery, and it's how businesses and gonna do all of this. To a point of this is how deluded, this is how blinded she was by obviously the good looks, and she was just mad for me. Because I was saying like things like, I was thinking of a chip bag that after you finish the chips, you can wipe your face with the chip bag. Right? And she's like, she's like, oh my God, your brain is amazing. How do you think of these things? Now I come in with a multi-million-dollar idea today, and she's like, shut up, you fucking idiot. You stupid idiot. Find your own boxers. You know? Boxers. Wiping my face with the chip fucking bag. Yeah.
We
started up a Frownix business,
had
actually.
a fully functioning, like, business within 6 weeks of meeting each other.
Yeah.
Just the
Frownix.
Tinder thing, obviously, I'm like, with
Yeah.
my wife,
back
I'm
to
with
that.
her since I'm 15.
Okay.
like,
Oh,
so I wouldn't know
nice.
any of that
Yeah.
side of it and the online dating. But at what point, like, coming out of recovery and I say 7 months into it, like, sorry, in recovery, and obviously you're always in it, but at what point do you be completely honest with somebody, like, on the other end of it?
Is
Like,
it
from the start,
honest?
like, as in honest to, like, of your situation, like,
You know, he told me in the first phone
Oh,
call.
yeah.
would have been
about
straight away.
recovery?
Yeah,
About like me past?
would you have been nervous?
No.
No.
Jeez, anybody I'd be.
Deluded. He thought he was great. Like, he's like,
So it was great. I was 7 months in recovery. Yeah, like after see, this is the other thing.
yeah. So perspective and bars are.
Jen
something
didn't
that we
get to
have
see
very
the
different.
last 5 years was 5 years from hell. That's where it all went. There was no more partying. There was no more people hanging out in the gaff. It was the last 4 or 5 years was home alone, morning, noon and night. Absolute psychosis to a point of where I thought the neighbours were coming through the roof. I thought there was people out the back. I thought detectives were telling me. I thought that the house was haunted. That I had an app on my phone that the app was telling me what the ghosts were saying. To a point of where I was following this app around the house.
And also backing
True.
horses based off the book it goes telling him.
Because one day I was sitting there, and the phone, I looked around and the phone said glance. The next thing I was sitting there, I wasn't in the right, I was using flat.
Under the influence, yeah.
Under the influence. And next thing, I went in a shiver, and the next thing that this app said shiver, right? So this was 2 for 2. Now, I'm like this, looking around, going, this is finally really talking to me. And then I grabbed the blanket, put it on. Now, whether I seen these 3 words come up on this phone or
You imagine them.
the next word said blanket. I'm with it. This is true to God with that. I'm up and I'm like, right, fucking, I know you're talking to me. I know you're fucking talking to me, right? Give me the winner of the next 3 horse races, right? And I sat there for about an hour, and all I could get out of the thing was King Henry. I like a load of different words, but I got King and Henry out somewhere. Got all the change together out of the gaff, up to the bookies, drove up to the bookies. I'm like a madman, like convinced I know the winner. So I found something Lord George or something.
Yeah.
Close enough. I'm looking at everyone going, this is the winner.
is coming in.
Handfuls of change. Horse came nowhere. Back in the gaff, and I'm literally screaming, you fucking wanker. There's a shit tip, yeah.
And that's not even talking about the chipmunks running around.
Stop. And that's the lightheart, like that was the
It's actually not funny. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I know. I
I'm
know.
laughing now, but like it was, yeah.
That's how bad it was.
Yeah.
I'd holes cutting ceilings to look through them. It was full on. Look, it took me a whole year of recovery before my mind ever came back. Like when I say it came back to a point of silence. Silence to me is a fucking 1,000 conversations going on. But in early recovery, at the end of using and the first year of recovery, I'd lost all confidence. There was no way I was sitting in a room like this talking. I couldn't even go into a shop. And if I was talking to someone, I was saying hello to a woman in the shop or
We
something.
still a lot paranoia.
Someone walked by me, my mind was on that and that person who was that. And that was 6 months. I was even coming home from my meetings and I was still looking up at the whole ceiling. And I remember I was going back into them saying into me aftercare, and I was like, I need anti-psych meds or something. They were like, we're not doctors, but if we give you, all we can tell you, if you go on that, you're quite possibly you're going to end up back where you started. And they were right. Because if we did get peace and quiet out of a tablet, it would
The
have been.
gym was the first time you came home to me and went,
I nearly
my
cried
God.
in the gym.
Yeah,
I
you did,
I nearly burst out crying because it was the mind was just so savage for months and months and months and months, and then
it
it
must
just
have been a year and a half into your recovery. You went to the gym.
flatlined one day. I was in the gym and my mind just went like flatlined.
Just silence, for like a couple of minutes.
And it was about 60 seconds.
Yeah.
And I nearly started bawling, crying because it was that point in my recovery that I was like, I'm gonna be all right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get me. I literally thought I'd given my mind over to this, and I was never getting it back. Do you know that way?
Yeah, yeah.
But now that my mind is a mile a minute, but it's like it's my mind.
Yeah.
And it's not focused.
And
It's
it's not
all
negative.
over the place, but it's
Yeah.
my mind.
Yeah.
It's my thoughts.
It's not
my,
intrusive thoughts. It's
It's
not
not.
like, no.
I
Yeah.
suffered very bad with
Intrusive
intrusive thoughts. I
thoughts,
won't say
That's really
what.
bad.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what intrusive thoughts were. I had to start looking it up because it was this mad
I
shit was
don't
coming.
look at it. We've never looked at it.
Yeah.
I got the secretary to look it up. Where's my boxers that wants intrusive thoughts right now? You know what I mean?
I looked it up.
Yeah.
But those thoughts and the voices in your head, when they're good, they're good, and when they're productive, they're productive. you
We
know
had
what I mean?
Brian Penny, and
Yeah.
just thinking that like similar things with the addiction
With his
and,
recovery as well.
the thoughts and stuff like that. It was mad stuff.
I had
Yeah.
intrusive thoughts after I had our daughter. I was sicker than I ever thought was possible. Like I never even believed postnatal depression was a thing. I was
Yeah.
like, she said, baby, what's possibly wrong with you? But I
Yeah.
ended up
Uh,
in our neighbours' gardens, in my pajamas, tearing the skin off my arms,
Taking
convinced
a bad
people were coming to take Daisy, convinced, I wrote a letter saying I'm not a fit mother, you can take my child. But I had intrusive thoughts and they were, it actually, I suppose, helped me understand him a little bit.
Yeah, I was
But-
going to say that.
Yeah, but it's when you suffer with mental health out of your control, it is beyond being able to ever explain it to anybody who hasn't. You just can't.
Yeah.
Like you literally can't. Like there's nothing tangible in real life where you could say it's a bit like this.
Yeah.
Can you actually explain it to yourself after? Do you feel like a different person after it?
Oh yeah,
You know what I
completely.
mean? Like, can you actually relate to that person after it?
The only thing I can relate to is some of the feelings. So I know all I ever wanted to do was die. I just wanted to kill myself. And actually what was more frustrating was that I couldn't because I had a baby. And I knew I couldn't. Do you know that kind of way? So almost the luxury of being able to kill myself and get away from it was being taken from me, which made it even harder because then there was no other option as far as I was concerned. But again, like
it was tough time to say the least, because it was now.
So he's new in recovery. He didn't know how to fucking look after himself. He definitely didn't know how to look after me.
Right.
Yeah, when you're trying to say something, just cut you across and says,
I can keep doing that. The whole thing.
What were you like then?
sick. It was too, like me mate John said it to me one day. He says, two sickies don't make a welly. And it was because I wouldn't say sick, but like I'll always have, like, I was gonna be a bit fucking.
Well, you were newly learning how to manage your own emotions.
I was only had to get cleaning up a fucking lifetime of a mess, and then I was like, I'm just
Another problem.
Fucking fix myself.
And you have to remember, I had to come in, and I was like never touched a drug, never drank, cleaned the fucking house. You know, was always there listening to him, supporting him. All his chip bag wiping his fucking arse ideas were amazing. You know, and then all of a sudden, I'm a fucking psychopath, and he's like, the fuck is this shit? Like, not what I signed.
Yeah,
but literally,
no.
Like literally, he said to me many times, "This is not what I fucking signed up for. I can't look after myself. I can't fucking look after you." Like, you know, it was horrendous times. Truly was.
Yeah.
And they just tried to throw meds at me, and I'm not into meds.
Yeah.
So I took the hard way and read a book actually. Awaken Your Power, Jerry Hussey. Amazing. I've read hundreds of like self-help books because I'm just into psychology and stuff like that. But it just, for whatever reason, that was it. Like that was.
Did you have any other like external support like coming in?
No,
nothing.
Oh, you did. You had your man. What's the chap?
Oh, I did. I had Conal Harper. Yeah. Well, he was.
He was amazing. Connor Harper. What's his name? Oh, she
I
thought.
hope he says this now, Dave.
Oh, Connor.
I'm gonna tag him.
Tag him.
He is amazing.
Get him on next week.
Yeah. Oh, he's amazing. That's Connor guy.
Him and Jen on together.
He's the first
Jen,
psychotherapist I ever met who was educated in all areas of it, because I was dealing with my own mental health, but I was dealing with our relationship at the same time. He's so educated on ADHD, on addiction. I didn't have to explain anything to him, like, and he was brilliant, but he was a long way down. I had to get myself to a point of even being able to talk, like, you know.
And it's tough for even people, because you know you hear those horror stories of other people that don't make it out the other side of it.
Yeah.
And I know you said, you know, I couldn't do something because I had kids.
We know
I mean,
somebody who didn't make it out.
Yeah, and it's tough. So to be able to, you know, actually recognize that you're unwell and actually go and look for that support, because other people wouldn't, and then it can be a completely different outcome, you know. Which is...
I rang the maternity hospital on a Friday at 4:00 and I said, I'm going to kill myself. I have a 6-month-old baby. I'm sitting in my car and I am going to kill myself. I said, I don't know how to say that any other way. And she told me that there was nobody there at the minute if I could ring back on Monday.
Jesus.
And that's how bad the mental health service is, in my experience, for women. But, you know, there isn't a great mental health service in this country whatsoever.
There's not great any services in this country.
But mental health is a massive issue at the moment.
Scary, yeah.
That's pretty bad, yeah.
No, absolutely. It's like if you're going to kill yourself, you can only do it in office hours 9 to 5, Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
You know,
somebody
like,
is just looking for somebody to
you do around 10 with
acknowledge them.
She only had to be a human.
Yeah, just
she only
acknowledge
had to be, listen, I am not qualified. I'm only answering the phone, but what's your name? How old is your baby? You know, like, sure.
You want to have a chat?
Just bring it back down to basic. Like, oh my God, like, I would have been in my car going to that woman's house. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's no way I could have hung up that phone to somebody like that. And my only assumption is that that's what they have to do constantly. Do you know what I mean? Like,
they're allowed, yeah.
No, there is services in the country as well, but I suppose.
But you're not in a state of mind to go looking for the right service.
No.
You bring the first one that comes to your comes to your head, and
you're putting a flare out there for people to hopefully see. Like, you know what I mean? If somebody sees it, then you might just get into the right. You know,
it's so scary, isn't it? Because in the wrong ears, that could have been someone just going, "This is it. That's enough."
But
you know, they come back to me Monday. Oh yeah,
that's what I mean. Like,
that's so sad. Yeah,
so simple could have snapped you out, but either as well.
And like Dave and his addiction, like, you're not always behaving how you feel. You can be behaving like outwardly. Somebody could look at you and go, oh my God, you're behaving like a fucking arsehole. Like, do you know what I mean? But you're actually fucking dying on the inside.
Yeah,
you know,
worse
like addiction, like, expresses itself like I met loads of lads like Dave in nightclubs. Do you know what I mean? Over the years, and you're just like, oh fuck.
Not like that.
You know,
Well,
like
hey,
fuck
well.
off, like, you fucking loser. But like they're all, every single one of them are 5-year-old children, roaring, crying on the inside, just looking
Just
for that
backstories, yeah.
approval. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's all a front. Yeah.
It's what you said, Dave, as well. Even like it being so prevalent now on sites, like with
Yeah.
you know,
Countries on
the lads are not
fucking
going
knees,
out and drinking and socialising anymore. It's going out and it's you know, it's taking people back. You know, with another 20 years, like
Yeah.
for when stuff that people were doing, as you know, the lads in the suits were doing, it's now everywhere.
Oh, it's kids. Yeah,
And
Kids
it's professionals who are earning good money,
Yeah.
who have good, you know,
But it's
family
acceptable.
lives. Yeah, and
It's acceptable.
there's no
We all
there's
went out
no
for a drink
there's no
later.
levels to it anymore. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
And to the point where men mask so much anyway. Forget
Yes.
about the ADHD and any type of other mental issues that could show up in adulthood that might not be diagnosed in childhood. Men are very good at just keeping emotions in.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh yeah, bottle
You
it
know,
all up.
so no matter what they're going through or whatever point that they get to, like if it is even a bad situation where they owe money to somebody or they've got themselves into a bad situation with a relationship or work or something like that, and they turn to something for a bit of relief with it, it's very hard for a man to come to, you know, and we talk about it on the podcast, a group setting with other males,
Yeah.
and actually
Yeah.
open up and say, look, I'm struggling here,
Yeah.
and I've got this issue, and it gets to that point then where, unfortunately, and with the numbers that you know we hear about every year, like in
Yeah.
Ireland, of you know suicide, it's
suicide,
rising,
yeah.
rising because of just not
Yeah.
being able to speak. And
That's
like
the
yourself
problem.
coming on here, it's just putting stuff out there to somebody to say, like, you know, forget about the trades, like, because that's one part of it. I know
Yeah.
it's major numbers in the trades, like, but countrywide,
I've seen
Yeah,
it like
yeah.
firsthand with a couple of lads that started with me. I think that's what you're
Yeah.
getting at. But like, it started with them. Like I know a couple of them going back years. Like, and it started like a social thing.
Yeah.
And then it started
That's it.
spilling into their family life, and then spilling into their which
Using
is
without-
mad to think it spills into the work life. Like,
Yeah,
and you're
yeah,
pushing
yeah,
it on other people. Like I've had a couple of instances. I won't even name names. I'll tell you what happened, but.
When it's gone into
shit.
work life, that's
Mad
that's where you've kind of stepped over. When the lads, any lad out there that's using it when he's not drinking, he needs to put his hand up and he needs to look for him.
That's the time.
But that, and see, this is the big problem, because like years ago, I remember when there was road deaths were fucking the highest numbers ever.
Yeah.
Seatbelts on, yeah. Drink driving. Like,
Every ad you seen was cars flipping upside down, and like they've done the massive campaign, and people everywhere you look now, people wear their seatbelt.
Yeah.
Why can't the government run like campaigns like that for drug addiction? Why, like they have, there is services out there. There is, because when I did put my hand up, it was true actually. My best mate who went before me, and it was me and him. We used the whole childhood. We were best of mates in the world. And all we did is use. And then he disappeared for a while. And then the next thing I heard from him, he told me he was 6 months in recovery. I didn't know anything where he was at in his life. 6 months in recovery. He says, you should come up here. You need to come up here. You should, if you want it, I get you introduced. I went up to TRP in Tally. He brought me up there. That was the beginning of my journey. I knew nothing of these services. I knew, you know what I mean? And once I found out about
they're
it,
not public. They're not.
No.
there was then I knew there was Swan. There's a place to have mental health, and there's free like counselling, and it is there. But why isn't there ads? There should be. I remember when I was living in Australia, there was
Because they do it
ads.
for gambling now, actually.
Yeah, which is
They do it for gambling, I've heard ads for gambling all right before, and they should do it for gambling, because gambling is just as legal.
another addictive.
The one really dangerous thing about gambling is you could go home and lost the whole fucking mortgage, and your wife wouldn't even know about it. You put a big smile on and sit down and eat dinner.
Yeah.
If you're drunk or you're using your family, it's going to show its face. But you could be gambling like everything away and nobody knows. But what I'm getting at is they have an ad for fucking gambling on the radio. Why isn't there on the telly? Why isn't there ads to show like?
And they put music to it, like not glorify in a sense, but they do like sort of you know, you think back to when you sent me that voice note, like before you came on during the week, like we were talking about a little bit of this chat beforehand, and you raised that as an issue, and it just got me thinking back to, you know, the Samantha Mumba music, you know, and the people driving with no seatbelts on, and you know, gets people into it, and people just know then Samantha Mumba then as that advert, and it just
that
gets people
stays
going.
with you.
But it stays with you, and it's just like that. It's just something simple.
Yeah, something simple, but but for people to be able to turn to your co-worker and say, like, so in Australia, there was ads. I remember it well. It was about crystal meth, and it was what to look out for in your co-workers. Not just for the people using it, and like, but it was a great awareness around addiction. But be able to turn to you and say, are you what, like, you know what I mean? If you can start looking out for them.
We still, as a society, have a majority amount of functioning addicts. Okay, so like, whether this is right or wrong politically, okay, we all, like, most people I know anyway would say there's junkies, okay? They're who you see on the street, and you'll never see two people more in love than two junkies. I just would love to have the love that those junkies have. You will never see two people more in love than two junkies going down the road. And then it's like everybody else. So it doesn't have that like Skid Row stigma attached to it yet in our society. In our society now, if you're out and you're doing, and I probably use all the wrong terminology because I don't do drugs, but you're doing a line, and then I see you, shut up, Jeff, and I see you doing the next weekend, and then I notice you're going into the toilet and work and stuff like that. Like, I still think we live in a society where even if I raised a concern with somebody else, to be like, oh, just stop. He's fucking in here every day. He's 3 kids at home, seeing him at the football match on Saturday, because they're functioning. They're still participating in life. They're probably arguing with their wife. They're probably not getting up with the kids. They're probably falling behind in work. They probably owe an awful lot of fucking money. They're probably crying when they go into the toilet while they're fucking snorting it. But the reality is, when you're functioning, it becomes acceptable. And I think even for the addicts, it's like, no, I'm not that bad. Do you know what I mean? I'm not that bad. But you are. Like, if you're doing it at all, you're that bad.
I was at Kristen, before I started my own business, there was a lad that I knew, and I was at a Kristen, and like, it was in like a dance. There was like a dance floor, and I was like, where the fuck was everybody? Like, no one was there. Like, and I was standing with one of the other fellas, and I went into the Jacks, and the Jacks was packed.
All in the Jacks.
I was just like,
wow.
At a Kristen, like,
that's really sad.
just like, wow.
It's like what Dave
That was
mentioned
annoying.
there in Australia. Like, of just you know, you going in and you noticed and you can understand what that situation is. But then taking it back then to just normal situations where you're talking about like co-workers, and it's not the people who are actually doing the drugs. It's been able to notice maybe.
Look out for it.
And I've said this to Keith before as well. Like, you see these companies like the one that I work for that like would have like, you know, hundreds of people working for them, or offices that would have hundreds of people in it, and they all run these, you know, days where they get people in and they do mental health first aid courses. So I'd be a mental health first aider, and when I was on that, I'm doing the course and I'm looking at them like, that's great. That's great, because when you're in an office space, you're working around all these booths and you see people that are very close to you and stuff like that. But then there's me then who goes out in the van and I'm working on my own, working with one other fella.
Absolutely.
And then right there, it's not sort of advertised to the likes I was saying to Keith, like you might have 10 guys in the company to maybe just have a mental health first aider in a, you know, a smaller size business. But you would work as a team. They all work as a team, so they'll have like, you should have like maybe 4 lads working together on one project, another 4, and then another 2. But
it's easier to spot.
It's easier to spot, I think, because they're working together so much. Where for the likes of these people who are in the big offices, they don't really like get the chance to really see like what everybody's doing.
They also don't really care.
No,
like your boss doesn't care in a big office. That's the truth. Okay, this is just a number. And realistically, as well, like you're sitting in vans together. Do you know what I mean? Like you're eating each other's farts while you're having your lunch. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're in each other's pockets. So you care more about those people. Like, so I do think
you notice the little things.
And you have like a responsibility, I think. You know,
notice somebody's appearance maybe changing over time, or you know, like you mentioned their PO and all stuff. Somebody's maybe smelling a little bit worse coming in. Somebody that's not sharing. Somebody that's not caring about.
You see it. You see the decline.
You start to notice it. You know what I mean? I just think to have somebody willing to, and I know Keith, like maybe as a business owner, wouldn't notice it more because it's his guys. But to at least have maybe one other lad in the company that would be trained up in it, I think would be a major step forward for any of the smaller businesses, you know.
But even the services that are in place, like it took me because of my mate went into recovery, for him to say like you should come up here. But I didn't know anything of them. Like if you were sitting at home and like you were watching the telly and there was an ad popping up for the local services in your area, or it was on the radio, like it was government funded ads to say, you know what I mean? Like
when I tried to tell myself, I rang Peter House.
I
knew it. Do you know what I mean? It's highly advertised.
You were lucky enough in a way, like that you did hear a third party.
Yeah, but and the other thing is, I think what a lot of people is, and lads, is, like if they're only using Thursday to Sunday, well, I'm not an addict. I'm not going to go into a meeting and say I'm an addict. You know what I mean? I don't. You know what I mean? I put it down Monday to Thursday, but it's only on the weekends it's at it. But if you're in your 40s and you're
Yeah, and
you know
Monday
what I
to
mean?
Thursday is pure depression.
And you're still saying that.
never
Monday
gonna
to
do it
Thursday,
again.
pure depression,
Yeah, like-
and you pay your
cycle.
bits of bills, your mortgage and that, and then everything else goes in coke. That's an
It's a
addiction
generational problem though as well, because
Sure.
our generation is a generation of no ads.
Yes,
Right, so like
we're
you
the
would have
last
grown
generation.
up like, and
yeah.
you would have had to have watched your RTE
Yeah.
and your BBC, and you would have had
Yeah.
to deal with the adverts and watch them.
Yeah.
And even with the radio, like people would be listening to the radio and you'd
Yeah.
be listening to the ads on the radio. Now it's Spotify. You get to listen to what
Pay
you
for no
want.
ads,
Yeah.
You pay for no
Yeah.
ads. And
But if you
don't
didn't
watch
like the
TV
first
anymore,
minute of
you
this
know?
podcast, the first 3 seconds,
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
You don't.
Gone.
There's
So
no.
That's it. So like
Yeah.
we're now, it's very hard to reach people now.
Yeah,
We're-
I
we
think
are so
everything-
much
It's all that.
closer.
There's me talking, still stuck in the 90s.
But we're so connected.
David's stuck in the
Yeah,
90s.
we're connected
Yeah,
through
the 90s are the
podcasts.
best.
We're connected. This is the advert.
for sure. And I
The
think
conversation is the
everything starts at
advert.
home.
Yeah,
Like, see what
yeah.
you said there, conversation. I was just talking to some people yesterday, or the day before yesterday, and I was just saying to them, now, I'm not religious or anything like that, but something that Ireland has lost is a sense of community, right? Because we don't all go to Mass anymore. We all went to Mass as kids, right? We were brought, you went on a Sunday, you did, whatever it was, Christmas Mass or whatever, but we went. And then you messaged your friends outside while your mum talked to Mary and she was asking how Joe was, right? We don't have that anymore.
No.
There is nothing in Ireland that actually brings us together. There's sports, but it's still not like you might stand
Even when-
beside one person on the side of a pitch, but we don't have that sense of community anymore. And then for me, it brings it back to the home. I love the idea of men talking. Like, I genuinely do. Like, we're talkers. Like, he talks a lot. No, but about important stuff. Like, no, he would have, like, at the beginning. Do you know what I mean? Like, Dave, actually, I wish Dave shut the fuck up. Like, Dave reads me, like, 100 times a day. Like, just to let me know if the shower screen is 2 mils too small. And I don't fucking care. But
Getting a lot of airtime here.
lots of people don't talk, and I think the kids and our experience is really important. Is that all of the shit that we've learned, and that Dave has been through, and you probably see doing your mental health introductions and stuff like that, is maybe adults aren't going to like have personality transplants and rapidly change overnight, but the next generation can. And I think it is talking to them and explaining to them and saying, it's okay if you're crying, it's okay if he said this, it's okay. And I know it can be very feeling orientated and that's hard, but for me that's going to create better adults in the future. Do you know what I mean?
I'm afraid for the next generation. I don't think it's any way better. I just think it's
different
gonna get-
addictions.
yeah,
More isolated.
it's more isolated. It's there's more control on people's minds from external sources now that they didn't have
Absolutely.
before, and I just think it's scarier. You know what I mean? I think a lot of the stuff that people might have noticed or might have been influenced by was in front of them and was in front of other people and might have been a bit more noticeable in the area. Where now it's you don't know what's affecting or what's focusing people's minds in now through their phones. And stuff. I think it's just
But far more separated. Like now, it's everybody's in their own room. Not even if you're in the same room as someone, you're on two different devices. And you're in two different worlds, and you're sitting right beside each other, and the TV is on, and nobody's watching the fucking TV.
I'm going to slightly disagree with you, right?
Oh.
Just
Here we go.
Step
it up a
shut that
notch.
off then.
Oh, la.
from a parental point of view, right? So my eldest son is 19, right? I had him on my own. We were on our own for 14 years together. And he never, ever had internet till he was 12, right? Didn't have Wi-Fi in the house. He didn't have a phone. He didn't have anything, right? And to the extent that the teachers called me up and were like, oh, we're doing this thing on Netflix and YouTube and trying to explain to him. And they're like, Tyler keeps saying he has no internet in the house. I was like, we don't have internet in the house. And she was like, what? And I was like, we just don't have it. And that was it. We just didn't have it.
Yeah.
Tyler played GAA. Tyler played football. Tyler went in the Artane Boys band. Tyler went out on his bike with his mates. Tyler lived outside.
Yeah.
Tyler's 19 now. He's not addicted to his phone. And I can honestly say that.
No, he's not.
He's not. He works as a butcher.
He's a
He
butcher
could go
man,
out till 4 o'clock in the morning. Now, is he up, bro? Like, do you know what I mean? The hair gets cut every 10 days.
Yeah.
No exaggeration. Like, every 10 days, the hair gets cut and it's flicked about 400 fucking times a minute. Like, do you know what I mean? Yeah.
No lad like that.
Loves the clothes, loves the runners.
He's the exception.
He goes out
He's
till 4
exactly-
o'clock in the morning.
It is happening a bit more.
Drink, but I would like to think it's because of everything I put in at the
Yeah.
beginning.
Yeah.
Work at the
I
start, yeah.
opened his world up. I put him into sports. I took
Yeah,
away the
yeah.
devices that the other kids had.
Mm.
And
then-
yet he
but-
has the capability of conversation of so
Yeah.
he'd walk in here and chat to you, no butters.
Yeah.
Do you know
Yeah,
what I
he's
mean?
well able to have a chat, but then but that contradicts completely because then there's Craig, who's my influence. So my daughter and me son Craig, they're from a past. That's a whole different podcast.
That's
That
it.
story anyway. But they grew up in a far different, and I won't
Yeah,
go into
yeah.
detail on that one, but they grew
Different
up
environment, yeah.
in a completely flipped environment.
Opposite, yeah.
But Craig is the exact. Craig could go out now, and he loves his rock climbing, and he go
Yeah.
out. And this, I remember the day he came back because he was old enough to have a drink, and it was
Yeah.
after a year or something. But he was out, and he was back at 1 in the morning or 12:30. And I was looking at him, I was like, "What are you back for?" And I genuinely thought, "Right, you're getting money, or you have a bag of cans,
Yeah.
or something." He's like, "No, I'm just home." And I was like, "What do you mean you're just home? Like you have to be in the night."
But
He
you
says,
said it there. He does rock climbing, and you introduced him to that when he was 12, and he was fucking lost.
Right.
Yeah,
Lost.
yeah, he was
Dave
lost.
only met Craig when he was 12, okay, and he was lost. He had grown up in
"Yeah, we said, yeah."
a non-existent parental background, okay.
Yeah.
So this is my whole point. You can actually
Mold them.
bottleneck them into what is good for them,
Yeah.
and then that's not like I looked a lot deeper into things like that. It's not actually just telling them what to do. You're literally creating their brain. You are building
Guiding them,
the
yeah.
grey matter and how deep those grooves go as to what gives positive feelings, what doesn't, confidence, etc. So he doesn't realise it, but he put Craig in rock climbing, and that's why he turned out how he did.
Can I play devil advocate to that then?
Yeah.
So that and it's brilliant, and I
Yeah.
think that is
Yeah, 100%.
the way, and it probably is the way people should be paving it now for the next generation to maybe get back into
Old school.
being active and
Yeah.
old school activities. But do you think that those people that are doing that, including yourselves, who are doing something positive for their kids, like, will for a little while have a generation of kids who, for some reason, those kids would have been the popular kids and found it very easy to link and mix with other kids because there were so many kids that would have been active and into external activities. But now, because the majority is being pushed towards online and TikTok and all social media and AI, all that crap, that they'll be slightly the minority for a while, like the likes of your kids, and that's maybe a danger for a while, that they might not have big groups to find, that they might be on their own in that situation.
But if
they
you
won't-
put them in
I'll
sports,
let you answer this.
Yeah, if you
I'm
put-
lost on this.
No, I think the sports.
I started Tyler
Hope it's not a follow-up question,
in
yeah.
GAA when he was 3 with the mindset you started going to
GAA
the
is
nursery
needed
when
for
he
the
was
dogs
3.
as well.
It
No,
is.
that's the guy clubs
it
is rampant with the
No,
coke
it
as
is.
well.
I
That's the
wouldn't-
sad thing of it. Yeah,
I wouldn't
that's
disagree
another
with
thing that
that.
needs to be addressed.
I wouldn't disagree with that whatsoever. But my sole purpose, even back then when he was 3 years of age, was so he had a reason to get out of the fucking
Yeah,
bed on a
that's the
Saturday
difference,
morning.
yeah.
That was it. He
Well,
had to get up.
but
He owed a team. He owed other people. People were
Yeah.
dependent on him. He had something
Sports
to
is
do the
very.
next day.
I
No, I think the team environment, I think that's a different thing altogether, because you'll keep son has excelled in sports now as well, and he's doing really well, and I think that's a
team environment is
it's brilliant. It's just the other situation I'm talking about, maybe not taking it as far as the teams, right? Just getting your kid active. 'Cause
Yeah.
I think it's hard for people to get their kids even active,
Yeah.
solo active. Kids that want to go out, maybe just do something for themselves outside
Yeah.
the house.
Oh, it's
they
legal.
can't. They don't know how to be on their own outside the
Wait,
house. But they know how to be on their own inside the house.
It is because
It's lazy parenting.
Danny, my uncle, right? If I let him wake up in the morning, and I have done, and I
Yeah.
do, and I give him the tablet, and we're
Not
just-
often. Not
often, no, but you
Yeah.
give him the tablet, and he would, like he if he's on that for an hour or two, and you try and take that tablet for him, he is a mess, and he doesn't want to let go. If I get him up and we get shoes the next time we go out and we go for a walk, he is the happiest kid in the world.
But kids don't know how to go out of the house anymore and actually go and knock on somebody else's door.
But no knocking on doors.
It's hard to know if it's answering your question, if it's bad parenting, because I've noticed over the years, like Callum has always like your lad, has always been in football, like and doing really well at it now. But you could see at a certain age there was the separation with his old friends. So some of them veered
Okay.
to computer
Yeah.
games, and
Yeah.
maybe they weren't good at sports. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they veered down the isolated route where they're sitting in their rooms. Like Callum still has mates that he's still friends with, but they'll sit in their rooms, like, you know.
They only know how to talk to each other through headsets.
They're living in a virtual world.
Yeah,
Well, our young fella went out with the girl next door and he never saw her. They just texted through the fucking wall.
Yeah, it's
like they were
mental.
about like a cavity block away from each other,
Mental.
and they would just text each other. We were like,
Yeah.
when's the last time you saw Caitlin? I don't know, 2-3 weeks ago. She lives next door.
But I agree with you, though. It's definitely pushing.
Yeah.
Because
It's
there is
also
stages where they say, I don't want to do that, like, and it's like, you're fucking doing it.
So
like.
this is it. Dave lets Danny give up, right? Danny's obviously Dave's. So Dave lets Danny give up. So I started him in ninja training when he was 3, little karate thing, right?
Yeah.
I used to bring him every week, not about it. Dave brought him 1 week, didn't want to do it. He's grand, he's not going back to that. Do you know what I mean?
Nah,
Whereas,
that. See, that Jen gives very.
does he do ninja training now?
No, but it was after
Right,
a few weeks.
so-
Because he was just standing there.
Yeah,
He could be so good at it, you don't even know he's doing it. Like.
Oh yeah.
That's what ninjas do, yeah.
Can't send him into ninja training. He's just standing there getting chopped in the face. You know what I mean?
It
That's bad parenting in my eyes. You know what I mean? Bring you back next week. You know what I mean?
It is teaching them that tolerance level of being in an uncomfortable situation that, you know, as an adult, it is good for them. You're not putting them in danger. And if they don't like it, it's generally because maybe it's not the sport for them, but it's generally for another reason, because all young fellas love running around kicking the shit out of them.
To a point, yeah.
Yeah, I do remember back in the party days, and I remember the lads going home, and it was always the lads, I'm up for a match in the morning. They'd be going home like from a gaff at 12:30 on a Friday night or whatever.
Yeah.
And I used to remember I'd say to the lads who we would have,
They were losers going home.
we would have win it, yeah. And I remember, like, oh, hey, remember that? Like, three days later, we'd be still in that gaff, and you'd be like, that can. Do you remember that loser who went home 3 nights ago for a match? What a loser he is. And we'd be still sitting in the same gaff.
But it's for
Breaking
me,
up the bookcase to burn it in the fire to heat the gaff up.
it starts when they're born. And I know that sounds crazy, but it does. Literally, like my 4-year-old and my 3-year-old, they're 2 little girls, and I'm so much more educated as a parent than I was for my 19-year-old. I knew the basics, and I was strict, and I was a good mother, right? And, you know, he's a good kid. But these 2, like, I'm literally fucking training these.
On their case.
Like, every
they're
day.
bonkers.
And I tell them every day how beautiful they are, how amazing they are, how magic they are, how they can do anything, how if somebody doesn't like what they wear, that's okay. You don't have to like everything. And imagine growing up with that belief system every single day from the person that you admire more than anybody else in the whole world. Your own mom telling you that.
Yeah.
But then on the flip side of that, let's go. I played that. What happens then when they hear something like because there's a lot of
Donald Trump.
a lot of wankers out there. Can I say course on this?
Yeah.
So and when they finally get to hear like, and it's not true because my daughters and they are beautiful, they are amazing, but there is going to be me and bastards out there that say you're ugly and
oh yeah, but
you're
their belief
horrible.
system is that they're beautiful. They don't need another person's opinion. They have a belief system. They have a core belief system that no matter what outside opinions are, it doesn't penetrate because they know. So what you say doesn't matter.
Okay.
And that has to start.
But you print that on the
Start,
familiar.
and it's so important with boys, and it's so important with girls, because we all grow up as men and women dealing with different things, and it has to begin at the beginning. And that's why I say it's lazy parenting. Parenting isn't as easy as it used to be, and it's also not taken as seriously as it should be. Because you want to bring kids into this world now, you better be fucking committed, because it is not a fucking walk in the park. And you're bringing them into a fucking war zone. And if you're not willing to
How did you
protect
manage
them,
years ago? Now this is what I
because
think.
it wasn't like this. There wasn't Instagram.
See, there was less. There
podcasts.
was less focus on it. True, there was
Just
more
out on the road, wasn't it? Just
that
you
was
get out,
simple.
everybody goes out on the road and plays for the day, come back in when it gets dark.
And your brain just developed very naturally. In normal environments, you learned conflict through somebody taking your football. You didn't learn it by somebody calling you names on TikTok.
You had the one.
It finished on the street. You didn't take it back into your room with you. You know what I
We
mean?
had the one weirdo on the road, but nowadays it's like a million weirdos on the
But
road.
continues, you know.
Yeah.
And that's the dangerous part of it.
Yeah, and
So what they see that fast car, that's one thing now that has to. I know probably going off topic here, but
I seen that first.
it's fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like, but
What is
it's
it?
fast gas.
Finding the canisters
balloons,
everywhere, you
the
know.
canisters.
yeah.
It's but the fucking crazy thing is it's legal to be brought into it's brought in as a food product, so they're bringing fucking hella loads of it. It's and you know who told me that the caretaker over at the church, I seen him, I was over there with the kids and he was walking back with like about 8 bottles and I said to him, Joe, I said, good night last night, had you? And he said, this is every single weekend
Picking it up,
in the
I
church.
seen it outside the house. We were working in a house in Finglas, and I didn't know like they were doing external insulation, and I was like, what is the cans like? There was about 30 cans.
Fast gas.
Yeah, fast gas.
We're
It's
fine.
balloons.
Black.
Sorry, car parks and stuff that we work in, a lot of the offices are all down the car parks, Friday nights and all this down there, you know.
And the kids losing the power of their legs and all. And like this, the fucking annoying thing about this. It'll be when kids start dropping dead from it, or there's a massive addiction problem to it. Like did you ever watch the documentary, the Steve-O from Jackass?
Yeah.
He was that's where his addiction brought him to fast gas. Now when I say his whole apartment was covered in, like, he did little small canisters of it, the whole floor of the apartment, and he was gone the same. It was like any drug. He was gone into complete psychosis. He was convinced people were coming. You should watch it.
Yeah.
Well worth, it's about an hour long. It's well worth to watch.
I thought you were going to tell us the hour there.
No, I won't tell you the whole hour. But like, how the fuck is us four sitting here see that that's a problem, and the government, with all their brains and all the money, can't go, okay, this fast gas thing's a problem. Let's get this banned from being a food product. And it's just so simple.
Yeah.
Like.
But that's my point, is that you can't depend on the government.
You know, changing generations and trying to make a change, obviously, with kids and stuff. You're using, you know, a goal setting mindset now, like coming through your recovery to push maybe the trade industry in a certain direction now to try and help other tradespeople with Trade Counter. Where did the concept of that come from?
The concept of the Trade Counter. I don't know, should I say, so we're not the first to do it.
Yeah.
There is, will I say the name of it?
Yeah, you can.
No, don't promote another fucking company.
No, it's not promoting it.
No, but this is
So, because he's well known, so I was on Joe Doyle's one, Trade Links. And so he has one set up, and there was a breakaway from him. There was another one called Trade Aid, but I was on Joe Doyle's one, and I says I could do one of these. I'll do one of these. I'm sure there's enough room for this. You know,
100%.
And I says I'll do it, and I'll do it better. I'll try and do it better. And so so yeah, I'm not on that one anymore. Let's just say. All of a sudden I was like, why aren't I allowed into this one? Yeah, so I'm not on that one. So we set it up and we tried to, what I feel on it, we're trying to do as much with this, what we've created, give as much back to the lads that are involved in it. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not going to speak any more of the one I was on, but the one we do. So we were straight away, we said, like, how can we make this better for it? So the apprenticeship thing came up. So we said we'll do it on our landing page, a free section for all apprentices, all young men and women, if they want to get it. They just fill out the form, and then when we get our group full enough, there'll be. So if we get 1,000, our goal is to put 1,000 companies onto this. We've 100 on already. Our goal is to put 1,000 onto this, and this is just the first phase of it. We're going to go into a whole other thing, but if we have 1,000 companies there, surely some of them are going to be looking for apprentices.
Definitely.
And if it costs, so that was just one thing. What else did we do?
But look, it did, like, Dave did have that literal thought process of, I could do this, like, right?
Yeah.
Turns out, actually, being honest, it's really fucking hard. And that's the truth. It's like really hard, okay? We
Yeah.
both have full-time jobs. Now we literally have another full-time job, like, you know? And starting any company, Joe Doyle has the amazing platform of his name. You know, he's not unknown. He has a legacy behind him. You know, he has a reputation behind him. We were nobodies coming into this game. And like what you were saying, Stephen, like, it did start off with, we could do this, and then it very quickly came to, well, why are we doing it and what's it for? And you do realize very quickly that tradesmen are like some of the most creative, productive, hardworking men and women out there, but they're not organized, they're disconnected. A lot of them have ADHD, and that's just a fact in how they end up in their trades. There's not great communication skills between each of them, and the mad thing is that they all fucking need each other. Literally, one can't do something without the other. Do you know what I mean? There's not one single trade that just goes in, does their trade, and no other trade comes in and does anything else around it. But there wasn't this ability to be able to connect so easily. And like, I suppose we do live in this kind of keyboard warrior generation, like, you know, so it's really easy to say in a WhatsApp group where you don't know anybody, I've nothing on next week, lads, if you have on. Do you know what I mean? As opposed to sitting at home and going, oh my God, I fucking, you know, like yourself, 10 lads keep busy next week. She's after cancelling. I've nothing up for 2 weeks. What the fuck am I supposed to do? So that ability to be able to just bang that message in, and you're in a room of 100, 200, 700 lads
Who
is so
couldn't eat a
good.
dig out,
yeah. And then stupid shit like, lads, I'm actually a sole trader and I was thinking of becoming a limited company. What do you think?
Yeah.
And there's so many people who have gone before who have been in your position who are happy to come back and help.
Yeah.
So the mental health aspect of it, of having a really easy platform to reach out to, for me, makes so much sense for a gang of people who don't bloody talk.
It was great
You know?
to hear. Sorry, but it was great to hear already. Like, it's only short. Like, we've only really opened it up, and now the great like. So we'll be telling like what's going like. So we're in the we decided to transition from the marketing team, and I won't name any names or that. We said we're going to shift to another marketing team, and in the transition period, and I won't say why, but everything got deleted. So the WhatsApp group is still there.
Yeah.
But my website got deleted, and Decor24's website got deleted. The landing page I just got paid for, the whole lot got wiped. And we only found this out 2 weeks ago. Now our new marketing guy is taking care of it, but it's like it's been. For at the beginning, I thought we set this up as an automated service, maybe make it a bit cheaper, and put it out there to the lads, and this thing will sell itself. And no such thing.
No.
We're into it for the right few bob as well. Like we've invested, like, and I won't say the number, but it's a right few bob into it. Now the only promising part of it is there's 100 lads on it, and I get to talk to some of them from time to time. Some of them I know, and then some of them just ring me up, to chat about how it's going. And the majority of the feedback is like, I fucking love this group. I've now like Sparks, and he actually does work for me. But he took on a lad through the trade counter. He took him on because his business grew that quick. He got in touch with one or two big builders from it, and the thing is his business has just grown straight away. Like he speaks nothing but like of it. You know what I mean?
It makes sense. Like
I
it
don't
is
see
a
why
no-brainer.
like building contractors wouldn't be on something like that. Like,
Are you in it, Keith?
no, I don't want any more work.
No.
Do you get that type of response as well, where lads are saying,
So what we say is, you don't want any more work.
not
for it.
now,
Right.
not now.
But do you want subbies? The odd
I
time?
could, yeah.
Yeah,
I
so there
could.
you go. So
Yeah.
there's a place for you in the group.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? God forbid one of your lads breaks his legs next week. Do you know
Yeah,
what I
one
mean?
of my lads
You're
did break his arm, yeah.
But there
That
you
was
go.
a nightmare, like, you know.
That's it, it's good. There's loads of electricians on it. So look, we'll leave the form here. You just fill it out.
I'm not stupid enough to think, like, it's good, like, it's good this year, but, like, next year could be shit. You know what I mean? And you could be
Everybody knows
looking
that.
for something like that.
Well,
It's about getting your face out there. The likes of these trade shows now that are becoming more prevalent.
Yes.
The likes of BPEX and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Would just try to get in and actually get face to face with the companies and the lads that are going around. Like,
yeah,
So
so
I know
the
it's
plan
very
is
easy
there's
to
a
throw it out.
relaunch. There is a relaunch coming. Like, so basically what happened is we what's it? We tried to test the concept. Is that what we did? So we've 100 people. You said this does work, but we figured out the back end of it wasn't ready to the back end of it.
Yeah.
All the automated stuff.
Yeah.
So that's where they kind of open up a door. It says, right, if this does expand, we're already having little problems with 100. We're going to have massive problems with 1,000. So that's opened up the door to get someone new on board, and that's where we got. So we're in the process. We're only held up now by WhatsApp. We're waiting on. We've put in a call with WhatsApp because there's a problem there. But so we get all that out of the way. Like the goal is the next level of this will be outside of a WhatsApp group.
yeah.
Almost like a landing page. But my goal straight away was, what are you smiling at?
No, Dave's like always 10 steps ahead. Like,
Yeah.
so
You have
Yeah,
to be.
but my goal was on that. It's not just
Like, like 4
yeah. Get Donald Trump in here.
Boats
It's
and
all
hose.
you do. Yeah, we'll have boats and houses. I was only singing that and driving in the van earlier. It was. I don't know why. Why was I singing that? Oh, because my clutch sounds like someone was on the phone to me. This is going to happen all the time. But then someone said, "What say you're driving? It sounds like you're in a boat." And then saying all day in my head, boats and houses, boats and houses. And I'm squeaking the clutch and I'm like, boats. And that's ADHD at its finest. Where was I? Back to where I was. Oh yeah. So on the landing page, I want to do a mental health section that costs nothing on this landing page.
Yeah.
And a section where lads they can if we can get it done right, they can jump in, they can be anonymous, but they can jump in. It's not talk about work. Jump in on the landing page.
Yeah.
So the WhatsApp group is to talk about work. Right, I need 10 sparks. I need this or I need that. The mental health section will be more of a section where you can just jump in and say, lads, my head's doing a fucking number on me. 2 jobs let me down. I'm 50 grand behind in my bills. And just, you know what I mean? And then if you could put that in and someone else jumps in and says, I'm right there with you, bro. Without, it was there.
Yeah.
But that's all. It's same in recovery. The mad thing about recovery is, like, it's just to find out you're actually not on your own.
Yeah.
You put your hand up and then
You
someone
still
says, I'm right there with you. And then, you know what I mean?
You don't have 10 lads out of like a full group who would act as some sort of mentor. Do you know what I mean? Who'd be like, yeah, geez, if anybody hops in, look, you know, what problem
It's really what Dave said, and we've said it on the podcast before, like, and we used to do a thing on a Monday, like, where you do an open thing, and anybody could DM us, and we'd, you know, just
answer questions,
we'd talk back to them, and
on live, we just go live, and
no, I just put it up as a story,
and
I would say, and it'd be just a box on the story, and I'd say write into the box anonymously, and I'll put it out there, and I won't say what it is, and people can
give feedback.
Loads of women's
but
pages
sometimes only one person, might message back.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I'd put it out there, and I'd be like, one person would write a DM,
and that's
I'd pass that answer. No,
one person answers the problem.
No, only one person would answer it.
Okay.
But I would say that one person who answered it, and I could just share that on to that person, and it just makes it somebody has. You're
saying that even just that one person answering, and you're helping them, that's a job well done.
One person just sharing that load with somebody else, like just
that's all it takes. Is if someone to say I'm right there with you, and even if it is in business, and it's just to know, like even just someone, I know with my two lads let me down, even just the. You know, because when you're the boss, and you probably identify this, you are driving around the van a lot on your own a lot. You know what I mean? You are running a crew of 10 lads or whatever who work for you. And at the end of the day, you can have the laugh and a bit of skit and work together. But at the end of the day, you're going home, and you're like the lads all get paid and they all go home. It's in it can get lonely. Not to get a violin. It can get a bit.
The point is that you're able to say that out loud. It gets lonely.
I'm saying into a fucking microphone.
That's like a really valid feeling, like, you know, and to be a man and to go home and, you know, maybe your partner's tired of the kids or she has her own job. Maybe you're single. Like, you know, and you go home and you're like, all of this shit in your head, you don't get to put it down. You have to do stuff. Truth be told, your partner's probably annoyed at you that you have to do this stuff because they want you to come home. That's another guilt trip you're then on. That's another burden. That's another problem.
For any men then who are listening,
it's a heavy load to carry.
Yeah, I feel like you're letting the family side of it down by worrying about the work side of it.
Yeah,
that's really hard to.
That for me, that's been, and I've worked on it, and I've failed with it, and I've tried. But the kids will be there. And the phone, and it's almost it can only describe it as being like the addiction. You're almost running upstairs to answer an email.
What I say to
if you answer that email, then it's gone from your head, kind of thing.
Yeah, I'd be a bit like that as well. You can't focus like.
What I say to Dave is, and you like, in my opinion, like, you are failing the family.
Oh
no, you are, because your responsibility when you walk in that door is to be a father. It's not, you have provided all day, everything is done. I always say to Dave, and thank fuck you're not a brain surgeon. There's nothing on that phone that depends on anybody's fucking life. No matter how many pipes are burst, no matter how many fucking wires are, but it's true.
This out. Right, this is not listening to this. This is getting cool.
But it's true. You should feel blessed that you actually can go home and there is nothing in your job.
Fucking Mary's pipe, the whole fucking ceiling's falling down. If that was your blade,
that's a very extreme situation. What I'm saying is that you are blessed that you have jobs.
The wrong choice, that's important shit.
And nobody is dependent on you outside of those four walls for those 2-3 hours until they all go to bed. Because that's the truth of it. You can sit in your phone 1 o'clock in the morning when all the kids are in bed. You know what I mean?
Just them 2 hours. If I could just get in, put the phone down, and have to. You know, I've had it, and it's the heartbreaking thing is my 2-year-old. Like when you hear that, so Daddy.
But that must be tougher now with trying. You're saying you have the jobs, but you're trying to launch something else at the same time.
Absolutely.
That launch is nearly based around social media as well.
And we launched it, and now it feels like we're back to where we were. Fucking. So Jem's only saying the other day, like it's
because we work together.
Yeah.
We're in work and we're in bed. We're in work when we're at our child's birthday party. We're in work when we're in Aldi. We're in work when we're fucking men. We're always in work.
Yeah.
Any little thing, like any little notification that comes through, like on that TikTok or anything like that, could be a big opportunity. You just don't know. So that's why you're constantly. I can understand it through the podcast as well, where I have like the Instagram, I have the TikTok, I have everything on the phone. And if something comes through, it could be an opportunity for me and Keith to go somewhere. It could be an opportunity for somebody that wants to come in and talk to us. And I'm always just, when the pings...
And that's a dopamine, isn't that? That's a dopamine addiction, because we're getting them little kicks out. The truth be told, we're getting that little kick.
If they really wanted you, they'll still want you the next day.
Sometimes
they'll still want you
in
an hour's time.
We want that. We want that dopamine.
Like, I'm fucking desperate, are you? Straight away, like...
No,
yeah,
seriously,
you
so for
mentioned
anybody,
Tinder, so you
you
want to see
mentioned
it.
there, obviously, people listening and not understanding that they might need the help or they might need the support. Like, so, like, there could be people now, earbuds in,
Yeah.
doing a bit of work on a fuse board, or they could be driving in a van to a job, listening to this right now and thinking, right, do you know what? They're onto something there, and I need to be a part of some community here that might not
help
like
them,
it might help them, help their business, or they might just help them mentally, like you said. They might get something from it, either professionally or personally. And I think that's what you're trying to offer.
That's
And as a relaunch for yourselves now, if you were hoping that somebody that's listening to this podcast right now was going to try and find us, where would be best to find us?
TheTradeCounter.ie. Yeah.
So the website is live.
But no, it's not actually. So don't look for
Right.
us about another week.
So
So TikTok at the moment.
Yeah,
So on
TikTok at the
TikTok,
moment.
TradeCounter.ie is live on TikTok. You'll get me or Dave. And then the landing page, the website should all be launched within about 7 days.
The WhatsApp group is active. It's
Yeah.
it's the landing page is just a but so people can't jump on now, but like we're relaunching in about.
And there's a fee then, is there, for somebody? Do you want to mention the fee?
Yeah, 149 plus the VAT for the year.
Yeah.
There's no other
That's
other
good.
charges. That's for
That's full support from you then as well.
Oh, any
absolutely.
problems? Yeah, we've talked to most of the lads, the 100 lads that have on it. At some stage, I've given them a welcome message and spoke to them.
And we're not just the group, like, you know, we've kind of always tried to go above and beyond. Like, so we've reached out to a lot of businesses. So you get your QR code, so you get up to 20% off with businesses that we're affiliated with.
That's another thing that
That's really
the other
good,
groups were not doing. So
Yeah.
I walked into any of the suppliers I know now. It's a lot in Leinster, but we've a sales girl going to jump on board when it's relaunched, and she's going to ring suppliers all over the country. So basically, you know the discount you get from your wholesaler.
Yeah.
But like someone who mightn't go in there, like a non like regular to your wholesalers, mightn't get the discount you get.
Yeah.
But a lot of wholesalers are saying, well, if they show this QR code, they'll get the discount.
They're part of this group. Or this community.
So they'll get the maximum discount.
Yeah,
And as well, so lads who
And
are
people might see that. Yeah. So what are you doing with that QR code? What's that about?
Yeah, no,
you know what I mean?
absolutely.
And then you get people talking, and
that was another thing we were doing as well.
or you could even have the QR code even up there to even get wholesalers to promote your page and stuff. You know what I mean? It's just great.
That works both ways.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's great, and I think what you're doing is great, and
Cheers.
And I think, you know, we've obviously had the conversation now where we've got to know yous, we've got to know your backgrounds, and that gives people a bit of a better idea of who they're talking to and who they could potentially be, you know, throwing a bit of like, you know, like a bit of confidence in, because they need confidence in yourselves, and I think you've come across really well. I think you've come across as two legitimate, like, people who want to help others, and I think that's what it's about, because you know yourself, you could have other platforms who are out there for themselves. They're there to make the money. They don't care, you know, who's getting to what level within that. And I think you're coming across very well with that. And I think
that was the goal. That was the goal. To give back as much as we can. To still run it as a successful business, but also give back as much as we can. So it's not just give us your money, get into the group, talk to you later. You won't ever see
you mentioned it earlier in this episode, the why that you started the business, and I think the why that you started it is correct. I listened to a book recently, Simon Sinek, Start With Why.
Yeah.
So you have to know why you're doing these things.
And it's never changed for us. It's never changed.
Yeah.
You know, like it didn't start that way and then it's turned into something completely different, because that happens. Like, you know, you start with an idea, it doesn't work, or, you know, the why, the resources aren't there, or even the community isn't there. But actually, our why has always stayed the same.
Well, you have experienced things personally as well that needed, where you needed someone to talk to.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of funneling this into the trades, because to be honest, everyone in the trades, like, we know it, like you do need someone to talk to, like, and
absolutely
regularly enough as well. Like, you can't just do it once in a blue moon either, like.
And the podcast becomes that community
As well, yeah.
Just having you in as guests then, like, adds you to our community, adds us to your community.
Yeah.
So as going forward now, like, we've done with other guests that we've had on, like, he's a friend of the podcast now, so the page will be shared, and it'll be shared again when you're live. It'll be shared again. If you've anything that you want to put onto us, we'll share it to our platform, and that's the way it is, because we're out here to help each other, and that's
that's the way it is. We believe believe in abundance, like, do you know what I mean? Like, there is enough for everybody in every way, shape, or form. Like, and I don't believe in, you know, going solo and being so successful and standing up and looking down on everybody. You want everybody there with you going, we all fucking did it. We all made it. Like, do you know what I mean? We all pulled each other up on the way. That's what it's about. Like, it's not about solo trekking.
What's the hardest question of the lot that we asked? We got two actually now on this one. So
since we were talking about Spotify, no ads on the tellies anyway, but Spotify playlist, what would your song, it could be Boats and Hoes on Spotify. Probably is.
Could be actually, yeah.
What's my
Spotify playlist?
Okay, because they're going to be very different.
You get a song each. We already have yours there.
Edged in Blue, Rory Gallagher.
Very good. There's a reason for that. Is just
That's the song that I want at my funeral. So,
right, okay.
so yeah, it was just It's
your thoughts now, or the intrusive thoughts after?
Tell the boats now. No, it's a great song.
Yeah.
Me and my mates, as we grew up years ago, the boys on the Shed Gang.
Yeah.
Drinking out every night, but the boys all play guitar and music and all, and they got me into all Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, and all.
Right.
So they introduced a different kind of world and all the rave music sort of thing. So and Rory and Edged in Blue was
Deadly.
Yeah.
Class. Jen.
Okay, so mine's like total opposite to that.
Oh, it's some pink fluffy thing.
No, it is. It's totally pink and fluffy. But mine would be The Greatest Showman. You know the movie, The Greatest Showman?
Oh, yeah.
So the song The Greatest Show, because I just think you get one chance at life and it should be the greatest show of your life from start to finish and as much as possible, you know? Like, it should be just fun and colourful and joy and happy and whatever way.
It's hard to remember that though. Sorry, go on.
It's hard to remember to be
fun, yeah. You get caught up in the whole fucking...
It is, that's it, yeah. It's true.
You want to look back, like for me, that song is looking back in your life and just going, this was the
I saw down
greatest
and
show.
Go.
Yeah.
I genuinely was convinced, and our dad's not, like, he's not old though, by the way.
Like 63.
Yeah. But I says to him, John, because he's a real intelligent man, like he's great conversation now and all. I says, John, does it slow down as you get older? He says, no, Dave, it speeds up. I was like, no. I genuinely thought, as you start, like, as the kids grow up, then it starts cruising back, and then
time goes fast.
It goes faster.
You know?
I nearly had a panic attack in the car one day when we were doing the ages of the girls, and then what age like we'll be when they're 8, and it was
because we had them at like 39.
I had to put the windows down and all. It was I had this fucking just 20 years of my life. I was just like, fuck. You know, it was one of those moments.
But you said this the other day, like, but this is it. Stop looking there. This is it. This is living. This is today.
You couldn't put it better in any way. It's just, and you backed up there. It's hard to, but the best thing to do is just enjoy it while you can.
Yeah, these are your heydays.
Yeah.
Them videos you see, little snippets of your kids holding your hand and the little small hand, and you can only go back to that. That's, and like, we have that. We're blessed to have that right now.
Yeah.
And that's, you know what I mean? It's, right now my phone after work. That's from this. I'm gonna make it out to the public there. It's 2 hours an evening. That's all. Like, I get home about 5. Girls go to bed at 7.
It's madness. It is mad. Like, it is something that you just take for granted. Like, but it's
Domino's cookies. I'm struggling out the bits of Domino's cookies.
It's not lost on us. I swear to God. It's definitely few and far between when you can get somebody in that definitely has a bit of, you know, a relation to the trades, that is trying to do something that myself and Keith are trying to do in another way.
Yes,
absolutely.
And
like I said before, it's just something that we'll definitely.
And it's genuine.
Yeah, genuine, yeah. Perfect.
And fair play to you. This is great what you do.
It's amazing setup. Yeah.
Well, you're putting your face out there. You're two grown-ass man talking about stuff that nobody else wants to talk about. You know,
grown every week.
Child brains. We're all child brains. Child brains.
No, and that, you know, user front and that user are happy to take the face of that, like, and that's really, really impressive as well. Like, so
appreciate that.
Cheers.
Stuff for sure.
Thanks, guys.
And then do we just be silent until we walk out?
That's it.
Don't leave that in there. Cheers.
Right, John.
Speed Beam Express. One of the reasons it's so quick is because of this. Every Speed Beam Express has an integrated emergency base. You simply snap in the true plug and play pack for emergency functionality. No messy wiring, it's that easy. This LED batten is packed with express features, from marked drill points for maximum precision to end caps with an easy twist lock close. And it's just so tidy, I always find robust battens give you an extra little bit of room to work with.
Right, Keith, another episode in the can.
Yeah, really enjoyed that one. Thanks very much for our guests for joining us this evening on the episode.
Yeah, 100%. And a big shout out to our sponsors, Robus Lighting, the world's leading LED lighting company, and Snickers Workwear for their continued support on this season. If you liked what you heard, come back next time for more overload chat and guest interviews. And make sure you head over to wherever you get your podcasts. Give us a follow to be notified when the next one drops. Take it easy.
Talk again.